Hey everybody! Welcome to the Otakucast Postshow. We're so fucking
Hello.
glad you're here. I can swear now because I
We are
have the
happy
biggest
for
potty
you
mouth.
to be here. Yes.
If you watch the cast today, I had such a hard time not swearing. I want to make it easier on our
The
editor.
swores. The
I was
swores.
I know there was no swores. Days without swores 0. So now I can swore. Fuck yeah.
I think you mean Days Without Swores 7.
I meant cast without swores. Suck it.
Cast
But
Without Swores is also implying that you went so many without swearing, not that you didn't swear at any. Do you
shut up.
think
Shut up.
do you think when
You're
you're
right.
at
Shut
work
up.
when you have the days without injury sign, you want it
Yeah,
to
shut up.
stay at
Yes,
zero?
that's I was going for the, days without, the One Piece reference. But you had to
No,
sneak that shit
no,
in
Days
there.
Without One Piece reference is 0. Days Without Swearing 7.
Exactly. But
Gotta get those
we are
numbers
not
up.
here to discuss my potty mouth. That
No,
could be a topic for another time.
we're
We're
here to
discussing
discuss Ponyo.
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 There's like a music there's the Ponyo song, but it doesn't have lyrics, so I hear it in my head and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just like nice little instrumental
It is, and it's
orchestral.
it's very unique. It's specific for the movie, but it's kind of hard to like
Tells
how
a
do you
story tells a story through
yeah,
song and visuals without actually using words. It's nice.
exactly. But if
Nice
you
little
hear
song.
those notes, if you've seen the movie, that's Ponyo. But
Mhm.
Ponyo is a Studio Ghibli movie,
It
and
is a Studio Ghibli film.
I did not pull up any details about when it came out or any of that stuff.
I believe it came out in
So
about 2008, if
I
I'm
wrote Poyo.
remembering correctly. Yes, Ponyo came out in 2008. Directed and written
2008.
by
Yes.
Hayao Miyazaki, animated by Studio Ghibli for the Nippon Television Network, and various others. It was even done for Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, Mitsubishi, and distributed by Toho, which is very interesting. It is the 8th film Miyazaki directed for Studio Ghibli and his 10th film overall, which is another interesting little fact. I also
And
thought
yeah,
that the main character's name was Sasuke at first, but it's Sosuke.
yeah, I thought that too. Like I've seen this movie before. It's not one of the Ghibli ones that I've watched over and over and over again. I've watched it a few times in the past, mainly with the kids, and like it's still a good movie. And I was like, wait, his name is Sasuke, and and then it started becoming Sosuke, and I'm like, oh, okay. So pretty much, I did not take any notes. I just have one page of questions. Be proud of me, dear viewers. But pretty much, Ponyo is a movie. Go ahead, DC. Give us your summary.
You want my full summary of
Yeah,
it? I'm
yeah.
going to give you the short summary, and then I'll give you the long summary. The short summary is The Little Mermaid, but Japanese.
Mhm.
Uh, the
That's his summary.
the long story is
There's
weird fishy girl finds way to shore, gets stuck in bottle, taken in by little boy, and little boy goes on adventure. Little girl ends up falling for him, becomes actual little girl.
can we have to remember here that
World
we
flood.
also have Sosuke's mother, which is my favorite character in this whole series. I gotta say,
Voiced
and
by
the
Tina Fey
series,
in the dub.
the whole movie. And yes, I watched the dub like always.
I only watched the dub for one reason. Do you
Liam
know what
Neeson.
that the reason
Liam Neeson's
is?
Neeson with Neeson and Nissan.
No, the reason is because Fujimoto has a certain set of skills. He will find Sosuke. He will have Ponyo returned. I
I know you were
loved it.
excited to make that joke.
I know. It's just Liam Neeson cannot escape playing a character whose daughter is kidnapped. He just can't. He
Kidnapped's
just
a strong word in this case, but I
well,
see what you
okay.
mean.
So yeah, the
Okay,
basics
so
of the
well,
story.
don't forget that we have Sosuke, his mother, and his father, who works on a fishing
Father is
boat?
a
Question
captain of
mark.
a fishing boat. Captain.
Captain of a fishing boat.
Yes.
Okay, and so dad's away a lot, and
Yes.
mom's raising Sosuke by herself on a hill. She works at a retirement home right next to Sosuke's school, so they have this little routine. They
Which is very
school and
funny
work and
that
home and
you have elderly care facility, which is they're on their way out, right next to preschool, which they're on their way up. It was an
he got it
interesting
all the way right
dynamic.
there.
It
You
was an
got it all
interesting
right there.
dynamic. That's
That
all I'll
is,
say. A
but it
weird
is
little
funny.
dynamic
And
they have there.
how convenient is it that the elementary school is right next to her work, though?
I know,
Plot
right? Like
convenience.
that's just weird city planning too. Who
And
is the city planner that's just like, where are we gonna put the old folks home? Right next
but
to
so
the
pretty much
preschool.
Sasuke's cute,
Sosuke.
energetic, curious Sosuke is cute,
Sosuke.
energetic, curious 5-year-old, and look, he finds, as you said, fish gets trapped in a jar. He finds her, and look, she is not a fish. She has a face. Why did only one person off this whole series look in that bucket and go, that has, or this whole movie, that has a face on it? And that was the grumpy old lady
I
that he was
don't
showing the fish
know
to.
what when you find out who her mom is. Lots more questions.
You're right.
Her
There
her
is
dad
so many questions.
her dad is a former human turned sea sorcerer,
See how
sea wizard.
what
He's a
I
sea
that's
wizard.
what that is my first question about Ponyo's father. Why is he like some sort of mystical sea wizard that hints at being immortal and hints at be doing this job of helping keep the ocean in balance for a long
I don't
time?
know. Why does he look
But
like
he
a? Why does he look like an older lady?
but
He's
he
got
he
like an older lady that's really trying
he's got
to
like
like.
makeup
He's got
on.
like so much eye rouge, like it's like this, and then like the cheeks are all like emaciated and
Look, maybe he's
exaggerated.
into cross dressing in his spare time, and that is on
I don't
him.
know.
And
It's just when it reveals who his wife is, I'm just gonna say they look oddly similar.
wife, they didn't mention wife.
The
Ponyo's
they're in
mother.
love. They're in love.
Yes,
He
they
says,
are
my
clearly.
love.
He is clearly enamored with her, and she has some sort of attachment to him. But look, first off, he breathes air. He always
Yeah,
has this little bubble when he's
a little
underwater,
air
but when he's
bubble.
on land, he has to
He's
keep
like
himself wet.
he's like the Tenryubuto from One Piece. Yeah, another one. But okay,
I don't know what that
no, okay,
is.
this is an actual point. The Tenryubuto are like super wealthy, like rich people that like we're the founders of the people who made the world government, so we're better than you. To the point where they're so hoity-toity that they refuse to breathe the same air as commoners. So whenever they're around commoners, they have air bubbles.
I don't think that's the case because
No,
he
I'm just
literally.
saying that it's like that because he
Okay,
has it's
I'm
just
like
around his head.
he can't. I don't think he can breathe the water at all. So, and
No,
but did
but
you notice when he's on land though, he has to have.
yes, he has this little pump thing. Even though he's like,
It
it
looks
keeps
like
me
one of
from
the weed killer sprayers,
yeah, it
and he
keeps me
just
from trying out when I'm on land.
and it's pumping the seawater all over, and he just puts it on his feet. Can you imagine constantly having wet shoes and
I
wet
don't
socks?
I don't think it's real. I don't think he actually needs that
I think you do.
because no,
I think
because
you
he's
do.
in his little underwater palace. There's no water inside that, and he walks around just fine. Yeah,
You have a
yeah,
point there.
yeah,
You
exactly.
have a, but
He's just
look, it's
weird. He
probably
wants.
wet and damp. It's probably still damp.
I don't know. He's just a weird dude. He's just a weird
Did you also
guy.
notice when because Ponyo has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, airing on sides of hundreds, maybe even thousands of sisters,
Yeah.
and they're all girls. There's
Mm-hmm.
not one male spawn in any of this. And
Not
if
a
you
single one.
know, and either it's magic or dude just be having some amazing sperms because it's the sperms that choose the gender of the child. So he's
He has
he's
daughters. He had a lot of daughters.
I don't know.
He's like King Trident. That's why I said it's it's Little Mermaid but Japanese. He's like King Trident.
Did
Only had daughters.
I'm running down my list of questions here. You're right. Trident only had daughters, but look, he didn't have thousands of daughters. He had like
No, but
seven,
still, the what my
seven.
point being is that
Yeah,
it's similar.
Trident didn't also
Similar.
keep his daughters in a bubble. In a,
No, well, his daughters also weren't like tadpoles.
you're right there. Okay, that's
They're
fair.
only like that
And
big.
then my next question on my
Where's he
list
gonna
is when
raise them?
Sosuke rescues her from the bottle because Ponyo goes on an
Yeah.
adventure
She gets
and
stuck in a jar, which you notice that they're dredging up all the trash in the bay. That was cool.
mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah,
and all of the holes were big enough to let fish out, so they were only
they
going for
I
big
know
trash.
they try to do that. Not
Mm-hmm.
all of the critters, but most of them can get out. They just wanted the big trash, yeah.
Yeah,
But she gets caught in the bottle, and Sosuke breaks it, and he cuts his
with a
finger, and she
rock.
licks the
Yeah,
blood. Da, 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 da. But
and
did you
his
notice as
finger
he
heals.
ran? Yeah, it did heal. As he ran back up to the house, the eyeball magic eyeball water was coming at him, and he was just like, "This is
Mm-hmm.
normal."
Yeah, that's
He was
weird.
just
He's just like he literally said, "Huh, water's acting weird today." And I'm just like,
yeah.
It has eyeballs. Do you
When
not see the
was the last
eyeballs?
time, Sosuke, that you saw water with eyeballs?
It's
Like,
just a normal occurrence, everyday thing.
I have a 6-year-old child that was 5. There is no child of that age range that would not lose their shit over seeing water with eyeballs or a fish with a face. Like, come on.
Mom!
Exactly. Mom! But,
You know,
and then
they,
another question is
do
he takes her out of the sea, he
you
puts her in a
know,
bucket, and he
yeah.
fills it with fresh water.
Uh-huh. And she's fine. She just needs
Not how
water.
fish work.
No, that's not how fish work. You know what
That's
I've
not how
noticed
fish
though?
work. You can't put
All of the
freshwater
little
fish in salt
Panyos.
water. You can't put saltwater
Did
fish
you
in
ever
fresh
play
water.
that the Sega Dreamcast game Seaman? Seaman.
No.
It was a little fish with a human face. I'll show
I'm
you
looking that up.
sometime. It's it's horribly creepy. And I played it.
Wait,
And I
I've
had it.
heard of that. I've heard of it. I've seen it. I've seen it on. Yeah.
I've played the game
Seaman.
when I had it when I was a kid. You
Well,
could talk
you
to it.
need to.
You could talk to it through the microphone.
That's really. I don't like that.
No, but it looks like Ponyo, doesn't it? It makes you think about it. Yeah,
What's
it's
with
horrible.
the fucky tentacle that looks like a penis on its head? I don't like that either.
That's like a anglerfish.
But it looks like a suction cup at the end.
I
And
don't know.
I've seen this
I couldn't tell
hentai.
you. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I'm uncomfy.
Uh-huh.
I'm uncomfy. But anyway.
It's a bunch of little Ponyos.
Back to Ponyo. And then I'm gonna skip ahead. He shows the fish off to the old ladies, and then the one old lady.
Notice, they look like every old lady in a Studio Ghibli film.
Look, a lot of Studio Ghibli characters look like every other Studio Ghibli character in a Ghibli
also,
film.
the main character's mom, and the one old lady that's really rude, all have the same haircut.
It might have been a popular haircut in Japan at the time.
I hate
it's
that
pretty
haircut.
much the Karen bob.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate the Karen bob. We already dealt with one Karen this week. Yeah.
Well, good news, she's dead. But and then the other 2 of the 3 old ladies that we actually focus on are like, oh, the fish is so cute, and the other one's like,
Betty White.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. Now that I think about it, yeah.
The one with like the wart on her nose was Betty White.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that replaying that in my head, yep. But the one grumpy old lady is like, nope, that you better put her back in the sea, or the curse.
It's a curse.
There's a tsunami that's gonna kill everybody because it's a magic fish.
That's
because it has a face. It has a face on it, and Ponyo squirts her out of the bucket, and she thinks she's like tsunami, and she starts freaking out.
Wrong. She's not wrong.
Yep, that. So anyway, Sosuke runs away, and he goes and hides Ponyo in the bushes because he was going to take her to class, and he's like, wait, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. So he hides Ponyo in the bushes. And then the thing is, he goes into school. Where's your favorite line in this whole thing? And one of the girls is trying to get his attention, and he's like, not now, I'm busy.
Yeah, you're not busy. You're 5.
She's absolutely right. No 5-year-old should be doing the things that Sosuke does. But it is a movie
that line.
in the anime world.
It's such a good line. You're not busy. You're 5.
Yeah, look, you're right. Now, I'd also like to point out, as the movie moves forward, our magic sorcerer dad, Liam Neeson, he has many opportunities to forcibly drown Sosuke and take Ponyo back, or
which you're surprised he doesn't, with how much he talks about how he hates humanity.
Look, yes, I was actually thinking about that while I was watching this. I'm like, you could have taken her there.
Yeah,
you could have taken her there.
You also find out that his entire goal is to technically destroy humanity. Because he's got like this in his little castle underwater. He's got his little magic well that he's slowly filling up with magic potion. So he's like, once this well is full, the age of the ocean shall return, and it'll trigger an ocean birth greater than the Precambrian period.
Exactly, and look, that I found all of that very fascinating because clearly he's been around a long time, and he's going to be around a long time. But
who knows how long he's been around? At least
And
since the
he's got these
1800s,
human
because one of those vials said
features.
like 1807 on it. So he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
old.
Yeah, look.
He's
But
an
he could have
old
drowned
man.
Sosuke and killed his mother at any point. He could have just been
Yeah.
like, look, do whatever it takes. Kill him. Get me my daughter back. And it could have been done. But no,
Look,
he didn't.
look, look. He's not playing a former special operative in this one. He's just a wizard.
You're right.
So he
A
still has a certain set.
wizard!
So he still has a
I'm a
certain set of
what?
skills.
I'm a what?
You're a
Okay,
what?
and then look,
Or
there's
wizardary.
mom drives like an absolute maniac in this
Yeah, she
movie.
does. I'm constantly like, lady, learn to take a course. She drifts. Lady
Tokyo
just
drift around every
every
corner
corner
with
just
her little meep meep car,
yeah, she's driving a
her
little
little
smart
clown car.
car. Little smart car
Yeah,
drifts every corner. And like later on when the flood happens and they're and like the dry dock passage she uses is flooded, they're like, look, Lisa, stop. Which, by the way, even in the Japanese, it states her name is Risa, which is the Japanese for Lisa. So
yeah,
her
they
name is
don't
just
have
Lisa
L
in general.
pronunciation. Yeah,
No. Well, they do. It's just different. It's
mm-hmm.
R is L, L is R. It's weird. There's
That's
some
why
other ones
Kilala
like
is Kirara.
yeah, I is E and E is I. Just little changes. But yeah, her name is Lisa, and they're like, Lisa, you can't get past the. It's flooded. No, don't do it. The tsunami is coming, and it like the water level just barely recedes. She's like punching it, boom, and the like flood comes up and almost hits them. And I'm like, lady, you have your son in the
Like,
car.
I know how the movie pans out, and I still got anxiety watching every
I
time she got
know.
behind the wheel. Every time. Okay, look, I'm a decent driver. I'm actually a good driver, not to pat myself on the back. When I was in the military, I was reclassed to
I
88
mean,
Mike, which is truck
look,
driving. I have driven 5 tons with flatbeds. Know how to. I put a trailer anywhere you
look.
want it. I'm a good driver, and I
That's
still
the
play.
thing,
If
though.
I'm in my truck by myself, I'll go mobbing down dirt, muddy roads. But if my kids are in the truck.
Well, that's the thing, though. You gotta admit, she's a really good driver.
She is a great driver, and it's
So
terrifying.
she could be an F1 driver. Lady's good.
Yeah.
That's part
And
of
then
her
we get to the part
problem.
where Dad was supposed to come home for dinner,
But didn't,
and he
and
didn't.
he's
Did
out on the
Did you
ship, and
notice
she's mad.
5-year-old Sosuke knows how to work the? Is it like
He knows,
Morse that they
yeah,
were
he knows Morse
using,
code.
or
Yeah,
yeah? And he's struggling. But then it was just funny because they're supposed to talk. They talk to Dad as he's
yeah. They talk to
leaving,
the
I
thing,
guess.
and he's just like, I like him using the Morse code thing. And he's like,
It
you
was
know,
cute. And then Dad was
Dad's
so proud.
yeah,
My son's using
he's
the
cooperating by
signal.
himself, and he's just like, Mom, Dad says he's sorry and he loves you very very much. She's
And
just
this
like,
was my favorite part of the movie.
yeah,
Bug
she's
off.
just like
Bug off.
B U
Bug
G
off.
O F F B U G O F F. That's all she's shouting. B U G O F F. And then
Look, I
he's like,
get it. That's a
yeah,
mood. That's a
and
whole mood because there's many
he's
times my husband has broken promises to me, and I'm
yeah,
just like,
and he's trying to
okay.
apologize, and she just like gets up and gets on the machine. She's like baka 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 baka. I was like, okay, number one, lady can Morse code like that.
Yes, she can.
She's got some skilled Morse code ability. But then
She
they have
really do.
a disappointing segment where they didn't translate it, so I didn't know
Yeah.
what they were saying, and I was like, uh, would like to have known.
I that always
Translators.
bothers me. Thanks a lot, Morse. You could translate bug off, but you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah,
Like, you could have even left bug off. We clearly know she was telling him something very angry. You could have let my imagination fill in what she was telling him.
oh yeah,
But, come on. You
she
had
was
to translate this cute
upset.
stuff, too. But that was funny. And then we
Yeah,
have a scene with Dad. He's got Ponyo back, pretty much. And her
yeah.
name is Brunhilde.
It's Brunhilde. No
And
wonder she
he's
left.
did you notice there's like seems to be like fairy rules in this Ghibli film about if
Hmm.
she eats human food, drinks their water, or drinks their
I
drinks,
don't want
or
that. I want ham.
blood. Yeah, he's like, oh no, you had their food. Like
You
fairy
had
rules,
human food.
most of the time in canonically with fairies, like if you're in their realm and you eat their food or drink their drink, you're gonna be
Hmm.
trapped there.
Hmm.
So that's why I said fairy rules. So I just found that
Same
funny.
thing. Same thing goes for Izanami in the underworld. If you
Yeah,
accept a gift from Izanami, you'll be trapped in the underworld forever.
yeah. Yeah, so I found that entertaining. I'm like, oh, fairy rules underwater, I guess too. Underworld,
I'm
underwater, fairy world, I guess. I don't know.
fairly certain.
Ah! Ah! You're
Yeah,
so funny, DC. Such a
Ponyo wants to
refined sense
escape.
of humor.
Yes, Ponyo wants to escape because Ponyo loves Sosuke.
Ponyo loves Sosuke! It's so cute.
And then
It is cute, but then she like that's less cute.
okay.
The next thing that happens is less cute.
She grows arms and legs, and I love the scene.
You call them arms and legs. I call them disturbing, nightmarish abominations
Bird
that are like
flippers. They're like bird
bird
legs.
feet.
Yeah,
Like
bird feet, bird arms.
I don't like it.
Look,
I don't like it.
I loved it
She just
because the
grows them.
the dad just like grabs the bubble and he's like, revert, 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 go back,
And
revert.
now look, they play out dad to be villain for most part of this movie, but he's not.
No.
His daughter is very young. She's
Mhm.
naive. And what he's saying is you cannot be magic and human at the same time. He's trying to protect her. Like, look, he's not like, okay, King Triton was doing something similar in Little Mermaid, since you made that comparison. But his was, you will do it because I say so. And then Ponyo's dad is, you need to do this because you don't understand.
Yeah. I just think though that was a very moment where all parents can relate to the revert, revert, revert. Go back to being cute and innocent. Go back to being cute and innocent. Don't become a teenager. Don't.
I'm nearing that. I got an 8-year-old, and boy, that boy has some attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo!
You
know what my favorite thing to do is threaten to watch my anime without him.
You want to chug
attention.
a magic potion and just go revert, revert, revert. Back to
go
when
back
you were
to
cute.
being. Both of you just stay at like between 3 and 5 forever, where you're toilet trained and you barely know how to talk back to me, and all you want to do is cuddle. I'm good with that.
When you're toilet trained and you love me, go back to that.
When you're toilet trained and you love me, exactly. That give me that window. Okay, and they also sleep through the night at that age most of the time.
Dads are a little different. They're just happy with like don't talk back and mow the lawn.
I actually
old enough to mow the lawn and not talk
You're right.
back.
Well, Zach, he's 8 and he's old enough to help, and he's very helpful. He's more than happy to help on his terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Ponyo. I did have mention with my little notes of things I want to talk about was what you already mentioned was it was like the big vials from different years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the oldest were in the 18s, 1900s, and it's just like, okay, what is in those jars?
Probably the liquid, the elixir. Or samples from the water of that era. I don't know.
I don't know, because like look, we see his little potion room, and because he has to drink his potions to become strong enough to revert Ponyo and make her unconscious, and the potions are dribbling out of like the little fleshy globules hanging from the inside of the cave.
We lost Angels, and Angels has returned.
It's just not having it today.
So
hello.
Ponyo escapes, floods the area, floods the thing, creates a massive storm, massive tidal wave, massive explosion of life.
Like she lets all the sea creatures in there. The water floods. Like, did you see the stacks of books and documents he has down there? All gone because Ponyo's a selfish little brat. Okay, I would whoop a fish's ass at this point because but her sisters help her escape too, and they get out and just destruction.
Yeah, I don't. And she's we don't need to go into everything. We don't need to go into
no, everything. But she's what causes the storm that is like the big coming to the end of the movie.
Lots of floods.
Because she's searching for Sosuke.
Yeah.
Mind you, she's running on top of her siblings that turned into magic waterfish.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice that the magic waterfish were her siblings had a lot to do with Dad's magic water eyeballs?
Mm-hmm.
Was that what happened to the sons? No, you're not as good as your sisters. You guys get to be in my pocket and be magic water whenever I need you.
No, because we see him actually summon them.
I know. I was trying.
I think it's just a reference to the fact that they have magic water ability too.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, so in my notes, Ponyo selfishly causes disaster.
Yeah. But they have a nice moment where they have dinner with. She finds Sosuke and Sosuke's mom. They have dinner together. They have ramen.
Now, did you notice that Sosuke's mom? Okay, I want to mention this. Driving, Sosuke's looking out the window and he sees Ponyo. And he's like, Mom,
Hmm.
I saw a girl out there. He doesn't realize it's her yet. Mom actually stopped. She pulled
Hmm.
over, she got out and looked.
Yeah.
That's not something parents would usually do. I have to give Mom's my favorite character in this movie, as I said. I give her mad props. Mom and Liam Neeson. Because just his doneness with the situation. And mom is like, okay, I didn't see anything. And then they get up to the house, and then there's Ponyo,
Yeah.
and instantly she does mom things. She runs over and grabs her. Where's your parents? And that's when Sosuke realizes that she is a fish, and
Yeah.
mom just like she's like. That's weird, but there's a lot of crazy things in this world. Like, she has proof that this girl is not human.
Yeah.
And she's still like, okay, that's weird, but I'm not gonna leave you out in the storm. Come inside, I'll feed you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel that like deep in my soul, because it's like, what else would you do in that situation as a person?
Yeah.
Like, even if as just a pet parent, if your dog suddenly had a magical creature that was following it around that sometimes looked like a dog, you wouldn't be like, go away, get out, you're dangerous. I mean, you could, but it's friendly and it needs to be sheltered. So, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do in this situation? But
Yeah.
Ponyo's toes, I don't like them.
Yeah. Because she doesn't like hands. It was really weird. But
They
yeah, they
they
have
they
nice dinner.
grew and they
Yeah.
wiggled and
Nice
I don't
dinner.
like them.
Mom goes off to help the old folks.
Mom made ramen with ham,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and that
talked
was
about
one of
that.
those.
Yeah.
I think that was actually one of the pictures I used for the cast we were talking about. The anime food was the ramen from Ponyo.
Nah, I didn't
I'm
really care
hungry.
for the look of it. But anyways,
But
so
look, but it actually
let's see.
looked like something, because it was instant ramen that she made boiled eggs and put ham on top of with a couple. I think she put green onions. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was like something that you would actually see that was not dolled up for the occasion. It was actual like food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that leads to mom goes. We get mystic magic mother. We get dad being blocked by a barrier. Mystic magic mom is like, hey, they need their rest. We have an important thing. We're gonna test the kids' love. You know,
Missing Magic Mom, by the way, is referred to as the goddess of mercy, and she's like this big, glowy, floaty lady that's
that
like
can change size.
more spirit than like the way she
She's a
moves through the
goddess.
water. She's a goddess. So, but
So
something I noticed is that Ponyo did call her dad an evil wizard at one point during her rant to
I think that's just because she
Sosuke's
was
mom.
mad at her dad.
But I don't honestly think
Also
he's that
because
evil. Like, he does
also
talk
because
about
he
the
wants to
downfall
destroy
of,
the
like,
humanity.
I know
Yeah,
he
wants to destroy
talks about
humanity.
it,
Yeah,
but he doesn't act on it. He could have
he does.
destroyed
It's
any.
just slowly. It's slowly. He's
Did,
he's filling up the
when we
well with
come
the
to the
sole purpose of destroying
climax,
humanity.
but wouldn't that be like inevitable anyway?
He just wants the ocean to reclaim the world. That's his goal.
Well, but that's
Yeah. So yeah, but
water
that's where we
world.
get
But yeah,
Ponyo.
the
Ponyo
this
and Sosuke go off on adventure with
things start
toy
getting
boat.
weird.
Toy boat turned into real boat because she magics it up. They go off on a little
Yeah.
adventure. They meet up with some of the other townspeople who are in boats and things like that. And their whole goal is to get to the old folks center where the mom is, where mom and the elderly people are all underwater but able to breathe and everything because magic. And they're able to run around and they're all happy. And they're testing Ponyo and Sosuke. That's the goal. And
Well, look, that whole scene was really, really weird, and I just think it was maybe because the goddess was there, but it was still just like they're underwater in a bubble, and all the old people can run around and move again, and it's just.
yeah, but yeah, we get our end of the movie, which is basically Liam Neeson telling him that you have to be able to accept Ponyo, love her for what she is, and know that she is both a fish and a human. Blah 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 blah. Here's
Mm-hmm.
a bubble with Ponyo in it. When you get up to the land, kiss it, and she'll turn human. And it's like, Ponyo, if you do this, you'll lose all your magic and just be human. Are you fine with that? She's like, yeah, Ponyo loves Sosuke. And that's pretty
And
much
then I like the
yeah.
fact that it was that they also included. I did enjoy this, that the goddess of mercy was talking to Sosuke's mother too, because it's
Yeah.
not just Sosuke that's gonna get her;
Yeah.
it's gonna be his mother that's gonna have to raise now a daughter.
Yeah. Well,
And
not
Give or
daughter, but
take,
like, yeah,
raise another child.
daughter-in-law.
That's a little early. They're 5,
They
but
they they love each other apparently.
that's weird. They're 5. They can love each
Yeah, I
other
know.
friendship wise. When don't
I
think
was
about
just
girls
like,
till you're older.
I was just like, yeah, that ain't gonna last. That ain't gonna last. Shit, it don't last when you're 15.
But
That ain't
still,
gonna
the
last.
goddess of mercy talks to mom too, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
during that talk, it's like, if Sasuke passes a test, will you accept the responsibility of raising my daughter? And that's because
probably. Huh?
later on she tells her, "Look, I will take care of her." So
Yeah.
I believe that conversation happened like that, but and I found it neat. But yeah, another thing that irritated me, we kind of skipped over, is the fact that when mom left to go take care of the old people, she left 2 5-year-olds alone.
She didn't plan on being gone forever.
There was a storm. It was flooding. She knew she wouldn't be able to get back for hours.
Here's the implication of what was supposed to happen. When she got there, Goddess basically told her what was going on. Said, "Yeah, your kids are safe. They're resting right now. I'm a goddess. We're testing your son to see if he loves my daughter. If he doesn't, my daughter's gonna die and turn into sea foam. So let's see what happens."
Yeah,
That's
but
basically the gist of it.
and then during that whole the weirdness part, like the moon was coming closer to the ocean was
Yeah,
going closer to the moon, and
it
then
was doing a
the
whole
kid,
Legend of
both
Zelda thing.
kids. I could understand Ponyo having a strange knowledge of ancient fish, but Sosuke,
His dad's a captain on a fishing boat, thus he knows everything about fish.
that's
Anime
ancient.
logic.
That's
Anime logic.
okay. And
Well,
then the old
yeah,
ladies also just accepted this. They're just like, sure,
yeah,
there's magic, and then the
whatever. Yeah,
5-year-old's getting a test that if he fails could very well kill us all. Sure, this is fine. We can run around
yeah.
without our wheelchairs. But yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
this is why I say this is the weaker Ghibli film.
yeah.
It is the weaker Ghibli film. It's not it's not a fantastical world. It's a mundane world that has the fantastical elements brought into it. Whereas with like most of the other Ghibli films, it's a normal person or that goes to a fantastical world, or it's a fantastical world in itself. Why do you
My
look confused?
computer was freaking out just for a second.
So yeah,
Sorry. I
so
agree with you.
end of the conversation is what what are your thoughts on Ponyo?
My thoughts on Ponyo is still a good movie. Yes, when you compare it to the other Ghibli films, it is not as good. Not all of
Yeah,
the other, like, my Ghibli films ratings all over the place, but Ponyo's still a good movie on its own merits. It's better than a lot we've ever seen. We've seen this concept before, or I guess after,
it's
because
Lou over the wall, but done well.
yes, and look, and I even if I was given choice of Disney classic Little Mermaid or Ghibli classic, which is also Disney, Ponyo, I'd watch Ponyo because even though
Yeah,
Little Mermaid's good, I prefer Ponyo. I don't know. Maybe it depends on my mood, I suppose. But my first thought is be like, yeah, put on Ponyo. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But it's still a good movie on its own, and honestly, I can't really say anything bad about it. The characters are well written,
I
the animation's good, the story's solid. I mean, it gets a little
I
weird
have
and
my
confusing,
gripes. I
and
have
I
my
have
gripes.
questions.
Yeah.
Well, what's your gripes?
I don't think that the story like has a good flow to it at times. It kind of just like pops up randomly some places, and it's like I don't understand why certain things were needed, but that's only enough to bring me down. Like if we're gonna give this a rating of like what do you want to rate? How do you want to rate it? You want to rate it with
Hold on, hold on. I'll get to that just
fishies,
1 second.
potions,
Yeah, we can do magic eyeball water or fishies. I don't
magic
care.
eyeball water fishies?
Or Liam Neeson's losing their daughters.
How many how many Taken sequels?
Yes. But like even the unnecessary scenes, I will give you that. There's some of those it's like, that could have been condensed. They were
Yeah,
still entertaining. You still were
yeah,
in
but
I
at the
mean,
same time, it's just like
I still found them like even the old lady scenes that were unnecessary. I found them entertaining and wholesome, and I'm just like, yeah, this is fine. My
it's just
kids
for
watched the
me
whole movie with me
it gets a
again,
little
and they
dull at times.
well, it is made for kids though,
Yeah,
more
well,
so than most of the others.
yeah, that's where it's like with for me it's like with Castle in the Sky, uh with Spirited Away, with Howl's Moving Castle, um I think
Can't wait for
Kiki's
Halloween
Delivery
Castle.
Service is another one. But with all those, I didn't feel bored in those little
Mm.
downtimes. But with Ponyo, it's a little more, it's a little too geared towards kids. I do
Yeah, it
like
does
that
have its slow moments
it
and that are
it
just
does
focused on
yeah.
like yeah.
It does what
But yeah, I'll give
America
you that.
doesn't do. I'll give it credit for that, which is treat children as if they can understand difficult concepts. Whereas,
Like
America,
they're small
we're
adults, like children should be
yeah,
treated.
in
Like
America
one
where
day
we're
they're
kind
gonna
of
grow
we're
up.
kind of even we're kind of even treating high schoolers like they can't handle this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
can't handle death. And it's like, Ponyo is a good example of it handles difficult concepts and
Yeah.
it does it in a way that kids can understand.
Yeah. But it's a good movie still. I mean, it does have its fallbacks, but let's see. I think is it time for the rating? What are we gonna give the rating?
Yeah,
Did we decide? Taken sequels? Liam Neeson's
yeah.
daughters?
Liam Neeson take it's Liam Neeson's kidnapped daughters.
Mm, I give this movie a solid 8 out of 8 taken Liam Neeson daughters out of 10 because it's a Ghibli movie that automatically because Ghibli movies are good.
Yeah,
Like and it's still good. It's all around decent. It could be better, but it's not awful. I
no, I
had
agree with you.
no major complaints about it.
8 kidnapped Liam Neeson daughters out of 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I give you that.
If you've never seen Ponyo, what's wrong with you and why are you watching this? We just spoiled the entire movie for you.
Honestly, I can understand if you haven't seen Ponyo.
Go watch
Like I
it.
said, it is the weaker Ghibli film. It's still a Ghibli film. It's still decent.
Find some young children to watch it with and enjoy in their delight at seeing this magical world and
The
experiencing it for the first
Otakucast
time.
does not condone kidnapping young children to watch
Wait, no,
Ghibli
I
films
meant
with.
like no, I didn't mean like kidnapping children just to watch anime with. I meant like
Just saying,
nieces,
we
nephews,
don't
daughters.
we don't
You
condone
have if
kidnapping
you
little
have
children to
small
watch
children in
Ghibli
your
films with.
family that watch Ponyo with them. If you don't, then enjoy it by yourself. Even as an adult,
Yeah,
it's still a decent movie. So yeah, that's about it. Do you have any final thoughts, DC?
no, everything is summed up pretty much.
Next week, our anime club movie is going to be
Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Yeah, that thing. I totally knew what it was. Letting you have a chance to talk.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Because if you're here,
Your family.
we
Bye,
appreciate you
everybody.
guys.
We do.
See you
We
next
do.
time.
Thank you for being patrons.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye.
the support. Bye.